So, a lot of us checked out as children. So, what's inspiring today's topic is a woman in my woman community. I know it's unfortunate, Nicole. Hey, Veroni. All right. So, there's a woman in my woman community. So, I really want you to listen if you also checked out as a child. If you checked out, what do I mean? So, how she described it, and I told her I would create a piece of content about this. Actually, she and I originally we were going to go live yesterday here on TikTok. And when I really thought about the answer to her, I was like, it could turn into one, a session, two, the kind of questions I would want to ask you. You may or may not want to be asked these questions publicly and then all that. So I said, let me just create content around it. So this is a way of creating content around it, even though it feels like it could be multiple parts beyond today's live stream. Hello, hello, hello. So what she said, I understood her when she wrote about this in the community. And I responded, I said, is this true? She was like, 100% it's true. And so, oh my God, we are different because we are, it's like this whole, why don't I fit in? Why does nobody see me? The whole system of things is to make those who are here to restore what is right, to make us feel like we don't belong, like we're the problem. Okay. And when you really get that and you really own the fact that a primary reason why you are even born, a primary reason why you are even in a body is to be a walking stand, to be, and it's like, this is not even like this is my purpose because this makes me feel important. No, we run from this shit. This is not something that we sign up for. Like, yes, I am here to change the world. It's nothing like that. It's very much oftentimes it's like, why me? Like, I don't want it because it's such a responsibility. It can feel like such a burden, particularly when you're on the outside of taking responsibility for your stand. When you get in the inside, which is where I am, it not only does it get fun as shit, first of fucking all, it's hysterical. It's like so many things. And yes, there could still feel like the work, baby, the work. Woo, girl, the work. Yeah. But don't you want to be on the fun side? Like, otherwise you're just hanging out here like, oh God, crying yourself to sleep, always on the verge of suicide. Bitch, we done with that. So here's what happened. She's like, I checked out as a kid. So who here resonates with this, right? Your parents or whoever your guardians were didn't see you, right? Or maybe they did. And their way of protecting you, of preparing you for the real world was to beat the light out of you. However, they did that. You know, you're not going to get a job if you do that. I literally had a client tell me that her mother told her at 4 years old, look, I see who you are. I know who you are. That's not going to work here on earth. Right? So her mother is talking from fear. Understand, I look good and I'm a human. We are fucking angels. Own it. Or get the fuck out of my face. Listen, the madness that will ensue, that has ensued, that has had you bitches on the verge of suicide. Yes or no? When you really are it, like Dick Gregory said, when the universe didn't pitch ya. Yeah? What? You can't unsee. You can't make other people see it. Your job is to stand on what you came here for. And you can run and act like, God, why me? And you know the whole time. Like, I tell people, look, if you want to hang out over here, over there, stay over there. Or you come to the fun side. You come to death row, bitch. Listen, bitch, because your ass gonna die. I'm telling you, come to the fun side. So She checked out, like so many of us checked out, right? I've said many times, or you even see at the video at the top of my TikTok. I looked around when I was 15 and I said, these motherfuckers is off, clearly. Like, what is really? Right? She said she checked out. So inside the woman community, we have a whole platform of our own where we connect every day, or whenever you decide to come in there. We do work. We have a whole platform where we connect. So she wrote this inside of the platform, inside of the woman community. The woman community is $99 a month. The Womanhood Initiations, which are free, are your gateway. So if you know you need community, you know you need community. You've already done a bunch of healing work, transformational work, book reading, crying, therapy, retreats, and all that. You realize you've gone as far as you're going to go by yourself. And you realize that now you need community. And you're to invest $99 a month. Come to the Womanhood Initiation. They are free. They start next week. You go to the link in my bio, click it, click Womanhood Initiation and register there. Okay? I so want those of us who are strange, who are weird, who are dangerous, who are in this world and not of it, to get on our fucking dimes. And to be able to be at 100% naturally. To be able to, where you're not thinking 7 fucking times before you speak. Where you're not worried about who, what. Because here's the thing. When those of us who are strange, different, weird, black sheep, never fit in this world, of this world, go 100%, motherfuckers get in line or they get the fuck out the way. Did y'all hear that? No, did you get that deep down up in here? Did you get it? That motherfuckers get in line or they get out the way. Or do you not want that kind of power? Maybe you don't want that. Maybe you don't want that. What you want? To go work at Google? What you want, girl? What you want, girl? You want to be a bad bitch? Who are you? What are you? Like, you taking up space. Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Do you want to be 100 or 99? You want to be 100 or 99? Because let me tell you some science around that. 99 is torture, baby. Girl, I'm going 99%. Girl, I'm almost there. Girl, I'm almost there. Girl, I'm going 99. Do you know how torturous 99% is? Do you know how torture? Torture. Because back here, you know you ain't 100. Who's coming to my Womanhood Initiation? Who's ready to be in the community that's going at 100? That's priming themselves to go at 100. That's prepared, like building up your emotional bandwidth. So you don't have an experience that gets you all emotional and you out the fucking gate. Like one woman did, what was that, last week? She didn't like the way I handled something, she out. Well, good luck, baby. You gonna move on to the next event with somebody else somewhere, and something gonna happen that you don't like the way they did it, said it, and you gonna jump your fucking ass around in and come talk to me in 10 years. How about that? Come talk to me in a decade, baby. Y'all don't understand. Y'all so used to black women being scared, basic, exhausted, not attractive. Y'all so used to basic. You ain't never seen no black woman in her full power, have you? I mean real power. I don't mean like the kind that's good in the church only. I don't mean the kind that's spewing what they've been talking about for the last 200 years, 500 years, right? I mean, or what I like to call pussyfied. Pussyfied meaning you can relax your pussy and say what really needs to be said. You can say what ain't never been said that you know you could be canceled for. You speak from the base of your soul. You're not like, Girl, cut. All the shit that we done heard 20 different times at 25,000 different angles. Listen, did you hear that? Did you even catch that? It's the same ass shit spoken at another angle. Listen. Yes, what, treasures? Yes, what, treasures? Girl, I'm so, girl. Primal, baby, primal, the refinement of your primal energy, the refinement of your primal energy. I don't know Francesca. I don't know who is Francesca. Tell her to come say hi. Should we work together? Who is Francesca? So you checked out. Who here checked out as a kid? Checking out could look any number of ways. You went into amnesia. You went quiet. You started hiding. Uh, you were the child who was like around and you could see people and see through people, but you never really engaged. Um, you cooperated because you just wanted to keep it right, but you knew that this was hogwash, but you just, you know what I mean? Why are you putting that there? You really think we're gonna go look? Well, maybe somebody else will. Okay. People always, not always, but I hear these things like, yeah, you remind me of her. You remind me of her. Girl, then I go check them out and I'll be like, yeah, y'all, I see the limitation in your eye that you think I'm like her. And that brings me to the conversation of likeness versus sameness. Me too, I'll be like, your likeness. No, because a lot of people can dress like it. You know how all the goddesses on the internet, oh, the dress and the jewelry and the goddess that's of likeness, but they're not sameness. It's like 7 different conversations going on right now. Can y'all hear them? There's like 7 different conversations going on right now. Folks want to be around their sameness. When it's your likeness, it's like it, but it's not the same. It's like almost. It seems like it, but it's not the same. Anyway, here we go. So I had the experience of being like, this is no. At 4 years old, her mom told her, who you are is not going to work here. I had another client who remembers being in the crib and her mother looking at her, seeing the light that she was, and going into a kind of being too overwhelmed by the light that her child was. This is the level of power that I'm talking about. This is not like warrior, whatever y'all be talking about. Maybe not y'all, but so many people who are like, yeah, you're like her, you're like her. No, she's of likeness. You know? You see how fine I'm going in this? There's a fineness in power. There's such fineness. There's such fineness that is disrespected to keep y'all out of power. Because, see, the closer you get to what's truly coming through you and wants to come out, this is where you start fearing being killed. You start remembering what your mother said at 4. You start being reminded of why they killed women and hung women 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 100 years ago. You see what I mean? So a lot of the people y'all call goddesses, and when people, whoever that was, it was like, you remind me of Francesca. No, she's probably of likeness, not of sameness. Because sameness wants to be around their. It's not even a wanting to. They need to. It's not a wanting to. It's a need to. You know how you watch people from a distance because you're scared of them. You like it. It's of likeness, but it's not same. Shout out. What up, Lady B? So inside of my woman community, hold on. Let me. So all the checking out. Who here checked out? Who here recalls checking out at 4, 7, 15, shit, 20 something years old? It might not be you. Don't just say something because you want to talk. Because if you're of likeness, that's fine too. You can benefit from the community if you're of likeness as well. Okay. So then what happens is when you check out in whatever way you checked out, because we all check out in different ways. Okay. What happens is you keep living your life. You grow up, right? You go through high school, whatever you do after high school. You may or may not get married. You keep on living your life. You keep going, right? But at some point, you want to be known. At some point, you want to be seen. At some point, you want to come out into the world and do your thing because it's in you the whole time. You were born this way. Yes or no? Thank you for sharing the live stream, Nicole. Lady B says, I recall I was 7. Top Taya says 11. You say, yes, 100. Hello, spiritual Meraki. Yes, yes. Hello, 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 hello. Right? Yes, yes, yes. All right. So at some point, you want to be seen, right? And the way that may start to show itself in your life now is you want to create digital products to help women heal, right? Who wants to do that? You want to write a book that actually sells, right? You want to start creating content online, talking about a certain subject and the transformation you've experienced, or what you see or what you know that you don't see anybody else talking about it, but you struggle with being seen because you checked out at 4, you checked out at 7, you checked out at 11, and although you have been living, going on, there's a way that you've been like here, but not here, right? For those of us who end up in, and I'm laughing because gosh, the memories, we end up in relationships, right? And then when you get out of it, you look back and like, how did that happen? Well, because you weren't there. Like you were physically there. It was your body there having sex with him. It was you who said, I do to being a wife. It was you who agreed and gave birth to the kids. And you were there physically, but you were not there. You were not there. So then when the thing that you were born with starts percolating and starts beating at you to come out, we want out, come, we can't live down like this anymore. And then there's like a wake up. Yeah, because remember you went dormant at 7. You went dormant at 11. You dormant at 15. So it's like, and then you look around and you're with this guy. You got married. How did I get here? You were not there. You weren't there. Anybody here had that experience? Thank you for sharing the live. Pratis and Taptea. This experience or something similar? Hey, Basha. Hey, Hugh. Oh, I'm not going to say your name. Thank you all for sharing. I appreciate that. So nobody here connects with that. Even if you didn't get married and have kids, there was a part of you that woke up and was like, what is going on? I mean, I still wake up sometimes and be like, what is, and it's astounding. It is, oh my God. And this is why it takes such vigilance to stay in what you know. It's just here. It just is. Because the whole is embedded into the air. Remember Matrix? When it was the green coating? Yeah, I remember on Matrix, it was like the green coating that constituted reality. And it's like, this shit can get, what happens is if your mind is just loaded with so much fear and uh, distortion, and like, especially when you've internalized so much of the external messaging of the world, it creates such a distortion. It's like it sits here as a block between your own consciousness and being and what's out there, and it acts as like veils. And it's like wait, but it's like that, because you got this that is you that knows, but then all of the symbolic projections of the world is like here, and it creates all these veils. So then when you've been like under them living for a long time, and you start wanting to come out, it's like, but and that's why old girl who said here, am I wrong? This is no. Like, do you? This is deep, you all. This is wild. And when and I want all of y'all to get to a certain point that you need to get to if you're sincere about creating your digital products to sell. This is why you need to come to the Womanhood Initiation, to get yourself into the woman community so we can go. If you're sincere about writing the book and selling it, I keep saying that because so many women, they only want to write a book for cathartic reasons. They don't actually want to sell a book. Which is fine. Just know that, right? But like, if you really want to write a book that helps people, it has to sell. Okay? If you're really sincere about what do you want to do? You want to be a speaker? You want to start consistently create content around a certain topic? You want to, thank you for sharing the live. How do we create a breakthrough? Top Taya, you've been here. Have you taken action on anything that I've already shared? You don't want to break through. You like being here on the edge of a breakthrough. Did you take any action on the live stream you was on for what, an hour or more? Or with the 2 live streams you were, have you taken any action from there? If the answer is no, you don't want to break through. You like sitting here with me live, feeling the electricity that you're feeling right now. You like feeling the life, the energy of it all, and being on the edge, but not moving. Did you take any action, Top Taya? Did you get on the wait list, which is not even a wait list anymore? Registration doors open on Wednesday. Did you? How do we break through? You break through by coming into the woman community. You come into the woman community, or go, how about this? If you're not ready for community and to invest money, go binge watch my content. There you go. When you're sincere about a breakthrough, you break through. When you're sincere about a breakthrough, you break through. So this shit is super deep. This is why my community exists, because the whole madness, there's a maddening that happens when you start waking up, because all the code that's in the fabric of reality, that when you look out, you looking out and what has been constituted here, like where you are right now, where are you? Sitting in a car, in your house, and you go and you look. There's a reality that is created that is based on past thinking of someone else coming up against your own thinking. And keep in mind, what are you thinking? What of it is yours and what of it has been planted in you? Like, I was on the phone with a woman earlier who signed up for the masterclass and the initiation, and I said, what do you want? No, what do you want? And she's like, well, there's creators that's doing that. She immediately went to what's going on out there. No. And I stopped her. I said, no, what do you want? What's going on with you? So there's the reality out there of like how society works. You'd be like, well, society, well, because black women, well, because the church, well, because all of those are representations of other people's thinking. Then there's you looking at other people's representation of thinking. And your mind, how did it get like that? All this connects. Just stay with it. All right. All of us. Oh God. All of us in our deep minds. You constantly hear me talk about our deep mind, our unconscious mind. I need every human being listening to my voice right now, male and female, to understand that you are, in large part, the way you're moving today is in large part, large part, has to do with your hidden mind. Your hidden mind. Your hidden mind. Who here is familiar with Carl Jung? I recommend you go watch, say, put CG, put CG if you're familiar. If you're wondering like why black people are at the bottom, why are black people like this? Why do I keep doing this? Why are people like this? Why does society do? What about the systemic shit? Why is this? Why is it? Why is it? What? We vehemently we just think that because this is the way it is, or genetics, or inherited trauma, or we keep being in these things that we talk like are bigger than us, or like this is all, this is why. Everything, 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 every pain, every generational trauma, every societal, systemic, political, emotional, every single thing can be traced back to the activity that's happening in everybody's hidden mind. And what has happened is all of us have been influenced at a hidden level. It's embedded in the language that's used. It's embedded in the symbols that are used, that you are not designed, made to agree to. Okay? Agree to marriage. Like all the women who are like 50 plus, who never even thought that they could do these things. And then they see a 25-year-old doing it. And then they get either pissed off or like excited because they're like, I didn't even know I could do that. Right? Or they get excited like, oh, if I would have known that at your age, how differently I would have chosen. Because that's part of like the symbols. The whole nuclear family is a symbol. It is a symbol. We are made to live in well, first of all, we just thrive that way. How many of you who are here who are married with children constantly feel like you need help? You're constantly like, what? You right? You look at your spouse and you recognize that he needs so much more, right? But we keep trying to make it work because the symbol is this is what constitutes success. This is what makes you an American. Whatever the story is that you tell yourself about why you did it, why you do, this is how you achieve love. How about that one? How many of y'all got married because love? That's why I got married, because I love him. Wait a minute. So can I love you and not be married? Is that the only way that I get love in life is through marriage? I'm not talking against marriage. Like if you like it and it works and it's perfect and this is all and this is fulfilling and I want nothing more. This is go for it. I'm talking about the symbol of it and how we all get controlled at a symbol level, right? Oh, this represents success. Oh, this represents failure. Like even that, see, divorce means you failed. Wait, so when I do other things that don't work, or whatever it be, college, you go to college, then you decide this ain't it, and you leave. Is that a failure? I don't know. You go get a job, and you realize, I realize this is not working with my personality, my lifestyle, who I am. I don't want this job. I'm moving on to another one. Did you fail? Or did you realize that's not it? It doesn't work, and you're getting another job? I'm saying, when you look out at the world and the results of other people's thinking and programming and conditioning, when you look out there versus what's actually going on in here, and which one wins, which one is going to become your reality? For most of us, we get influenced by the external, and then we make decisions based on that because we like, oh, see, people get married because, right? This is the way. Like, I don't even know what to do with myself outside of that. Are you getting this? Like, what would I even do outside of marriage? I was telling my mother, I was like, Mom, most people don't even know what to do with themselves outside of marriage. Like, this is not against marriage. I'm just saying, like, they don't know what to do. So it's like, well, this is what people do. This is how it works. This is how I'm going to, like, actual love exists, period. It happens in relationships. So here your mind comes and then you're starting to wake up, then you start longing to do what you came here for. Okay, here we go. You start longing to do what you came here for. So this graduates the conversation, right? From those of you who just love to watch me talk because it's inspiring and you look good and all that, versus those of you who actually know that there's something for you to do. Those of you who went dormant at 4, 7, 11 years old, and now you're waking up and you've gone mad. You've contemplated suicide sincerely. You have felt very wrong. Yeah? So this is a very different being. Here we go. We talk about likeness versus sameness. Those of us who checked out at 4, 7, 11, etc., we didn't even agree, like the whole getting married and staying married and then waking up at 40, 50 years old. Many of us didn't even do that because marriage in and of itself was like, what? Who said? We didn't even think of it. We didn't even look at it. Like, anybody here relate to that? I remember, first of all, I never even thought, I personally have never had a desire to get married and have kids. Never. I remember when my ex-husband, he would bring it up, and I just thought he was bringing it up. I never thought about it for he and I to do. I just thought it was a conversation he wanted to have. And I remember when he proposed, I was like, it was so odd to me. It was so radically odd. Like, but I loved him. And this is a good man, by the way. Listen, I'm not against marriage. This is not, listen, if it works for you, do it. I just really want to speak to those of us who never resonated with any of the systems that have been laid down here. The whole trajectory of what constitutes success. Graduate from high school, go to college, get married, have kids, get a job, stay there, travel some, become a grandparent, die. Like anybody else here, when you sort of saw that's how, when you were 8, maybe a teenager, and you looked around and you saw that, you were like, something is off. Anybody else here felt that as a teenager or 7 years old, 11 years old? Somebody said it's a system that was designed for control. Right, exactly. Somebody said, Buck said, this can't be it. Exactly. And I was like, and that's when I checked out big time. I was like, y'all off. And it really sent, I became very violent. This is not the only reason why I became very violent as a teen, but it is definitely a big part of the reason why I became very violent. It's like, I don't belong here. But when you don't have people around you, like some of y'all, you haven't had people around you who actually see you. If you had a mother like me, how different would your current reality be? My niece, who's, boy, listen, as long as I'm in her life, she will be alive. Okay? How different would your reality be if you had a mother like me who saw you and encouraged it, who created environments and situations where you got a chance to explore and flourish and speak these things that other people might be like, wow, that's an odd child. That's a weird child. Yup, she got something to say. Something is flourishing here. Let's go. And really let that, right? And because you didn't, this is where, right? So for me, when I was a teenager and this stuff was coming out, my mom she said, trying to raise, I had a podcast once upon a time, and my mother came on my podcast and she said, Trying to raise Naima was like trying to wrangle an angel. My mom so wanted me to be her good daughter. I'm the firstborn. So she's so, like, she saw my light. She saw all of me, but she so wanted me to be much more, politically correct, tame. And when I just really got that, and I hadn't even fully gotten it as a teenager, but I got it enough that my mom could not see me and that so much of me was unwelcome to her. That is what made so many of us become mad women or mad teenagers, right? And then we just sort of fuck around and we disconnect in many ways and we just sort of fuck around and exhaust ourselves running around through life trying to fit some kind of way in different environments, but we never really fit. And to speak to who's here right now, I think, where there's people around, right? Like, so for those of you who did get married, right? Or you're in whatever is your situation where people are around, right? You appear to have friends. You appear to be well connected, right? You know a lot of people. You have a lot of people saved in your phone. You're very active. When you want to be around people, you're around people. And while there are people around, there are people around. You definitely don't lack that, or you may because you want it that way. But there are people around. None of these people actually see you. Mr. Harris said, and still feel lonely. Exactly. All these people around, lonely. You married fucking 3 days a week, still lonely. You got a good husband, still lonely. Because he don't see you neither. Yeah? Anybody here relate to that? And so what you continue to do is you interact with them knowing that they don't see you. And it makes you more frustrated and more frustrated because while you can interact with them, they can't interact with you, the real you. Yes? That's you put yes in the comments. Somebody said running out the door. Is that what that represents? Hey, holistic mind juice. I'm oh God. This is so good. And so when you're in that place where there's the you back here that's been dormant since you were 4 or 7 or 11, and then there's the outside world that they can't be with you, but you can be with them. And the more you start to be sincere and get into action, not think about it, meditate, get into action about bringing the real you out. Feeling wrong exacerbates, like the volume turns up on being wrong, dangerous, rejected, judged, everything that caused you to check out to begin with. Yeah, they're gonna reject me and they're not gonna see me and I'm wrong and bad, right? I'm not gonna get approval from my mom. I'm not gonna be liked by people. All of that, the volume comes back when you're 32, 42, 52, and you're ready to bring the real you out. So a few things. I want to lay down some things that are going to be useful no matter your level. One, if you know you're not ready to come into my woman community, you don't want community yet, you still want to explore some more by yourself, you're not ready to invest $99 a month, whatever the reason. First of all, go binge watch my content. There's TikTok. If you go to my TikTok profile, there's a YouTube icon. You can go over to YouTube and see hundreds of videos that I've done over the last 9 years on that channel, because I have a whole other channel too that I started in 2011. But start there and then see where you just intuitively feel called to go. Intuitively. Don't force nothing. Just see what, you know what? I feel like I'm gonna go call this person. And follow the hunches. Follow the hunches. I'm gonna say a little bit. First of all, does anybody have any questions before I go on? Thank you for the chili, Nick. Ah! Anybody have any questions? Because part of me feels like I want to talk about this feeling of being wrong. Bad. Well, that's bad. I feel wrong for doing this. I feel wrong for saying this. I feel wrong for erecting this boundary. I feel wrong for making a decision that would allow me to sit in my right position because of how that impacts my relationship with my mother, my husband, my children, this job, whatever. Thank you for sharing the live, Unique. Oh, I look forward to your sharing, Vasha. Very good. Thank you for sharing, Dee Dee. No questions, huh? Who here is coming to the Womanhood Initiation? It's happening next Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific. Put me if you're coming. If you're already in the woman community, put woman. Ah! If you're already in the woman community, put woman. And if you're coming to the initiation next Monday at 12, put me. Hey, Jazz Priestess. Are you new here? Your name? I don't know. Are you new here? Hey, Dee Dee. Oh, we got two Dee Dees in the house. Look at that. Okay, D Delights and Dee Dee. D Delights and Dee Dee. Movement, I need you to get a profile photo. Everybody here who doesn't have a profile photo who wants to connect here, please get a profile photo. So, this topic of feeling wrong, Dee Dee brought this up, or get in trouble. That's another one. That is something I have felt. I've had other women share that. Mashika shared that. I'm going to get in trouble. Anybody here felt that? I'm going to get in trouble. If I bring this forward, if I say this, if I stand on this, if I even walk as I actually am. Ooh, that's a whole other conversation. If I walk down the street, if I walk into this room, if I interact with him and her the way I actually am without policing how I be or wanting to appear pleasant. I'm not vouching for one way or the other. I'm talking about how the whole I will get in trouble if I don't act this way shows up in our life. What's dumb, Jazz? Dee Dee said, I checked out because of feeling bad, wrong, and like I needed to get right. Thank you. Let's talk about this. Anybody here relate to what Dee Dee just shared? About feeling like I needed to get right. So what is right? First of all, does anybody agree with what Dee Dee said? She said, I checked out because of feeling bad/wrong and like I needed to get right. Anybody here relate to that? Hey, Wraith Pussy. Anybody here relate to that? Well, I should say a woman. Hey, girl. It's not dumb. It's not dumb that we believe we're going to get in trouble. It's not dumb. So you got to learn to be able to be with anybody's experience without labeling it. Because if you just, what that tells me is you do that to yourself. In your own head, you clown yourself. That's dumb. So you do that with yourself. Anything anybody does with you, they do it with themselves. Everybody remember that. So how Jazz was just like, that's dumb to believe we're going to get in trouble. That means when she does something that she perceives as dumb, she calls herself dumb. Just be aware of that. Why? Because that helps you not take shit personal. That really helps you not take shit personal. Y'all heard the expression, how people treat you is not you, it's them. How you react is you. Just remember that, you know? I want to get at the whole that's dumb though. That's dumb. That's projecting a judgment. And no, it just is. There are women who feel like that they're going to get in trouble. Is that dumb? That women feel they're going to be in trouble who bring this powerful? That's dumb. If a woman come to you and say, girl, I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble if I talk about how a married woman could feel like she being raped by her husband, are you gonna be like, girl, that's dumb? Or even kindly, girl, that's dumb. Are you gonna say that to her? If you have a particular fear or insecurity right now, which I'm sure you do, and you shared that with me, or you shared that in the community, and I said, girl, that's dumb. And this is not about jazz. This is about all of y'all who judge yourself, label yourself. You stupid. Why do you even think like that? Girl, that's so stupid. Girl, that's dumb. Why do you even thinking that? No. All. See, when we talk about the Almighty, we talk about all. We think it's just this benevolent, yes, girl, because I'm all of it. Girl, I'm all of it. Do you know that all of it is your filth? That includes your filth. That includes the petty, disrespectful, unconscious you. When we start talking about all, girl, because we are everything. Y'all hear that, right? Black women are everything. You do recognize that everything is inclusive of your holy, benevolent highness and your lowly, filthy nothingness. That is what all is. And this is where you motherfuckers quit. Y'all love to be like, power, because I'm, yes, power, righteous, because I'm goddess. Yeah, but you also an ain't shit bitch. That too. You know that, right? Because let a motherfucker come against whatever. Somebody remind you of some shameful shit you did 20 years ago. Somebody scratch something, remind you of something, act in a way that you don't like. Are you going to be the benevolent, holy thing? And this is what we need to learn to love about each other. Otherwise, we're not going to last together. You're going to do what old girl did last week when I did something she didn't like and she left. Good luck, girlfriend. Good the fuck luck. Good luck. Good luck. Because somebody else going to do something you don't like. Good luck. I've said this many times, that in order for us to truly work together to do things that bend reality, as a reiteration of what I said yesterday, the power that Storm had in X-Men, the power that, what's the old girl name in the Matrix? Trinity. The power that Trinity had, the power that old girl had in Frozen. You and I have that power now. It is just repressed. And to even access it and to live it out in the world means you have to traverse everything about you that is filthy, that has been placed on top of it, so you feel wrong and bad and like you're going to get in trouble if you bring it out. This is how you're kept in control. Is we, the collective we, have implanted symbols and social order, this what we call divine order today, the fakeness that has been created of who you're supposed to be and how. And we say, this is how you're supposed to be and live and think. And if you don't do that, you're wrong. You're out of order. You're going to hell. You're a troublemaker. You're a problem. This is trouble. Okay? That is the only way. Then we internalize it, and we, on some level, we agree to it. You agree. You agree by getting into the systems that help you stay blind, that help you stay in forgetfulness, that help you feel like, oh, I'm doing right. How many of you, and tell the truth, you felt such a relief when you got married because now I'm normal. Oh God, I get to fit in here. Oof. Woo! How many of you have wanted to push away? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. So when you come into a community like mine, there's an unconscious part of you that wants to access your power that Trinity had in the Matrix. There's a deep, deep, deep part of you that wants to access the power that the princess had in Frozen. But on the way there, you're going to touch everything that was laid down to keep you afraid. You can see through people. Girl, what kind of, what? Girl, you making shit up. Are you sure? No, we don't do that. No, see, because the Bible said, no, all that. You going to get in trouble. You're going to get the church coming. Remember that viral video? Oh my God. Do y'all remember this one? It's old too. Maybe like 8 years ago, it went viral. That British, was she British? I don't recall. But she was a light-skinned girl. She had crooked teeth, curly hair, and it was a makeup video. Remember? I think it was a makeup tutorial, but it was satirical. Who remembers this? And she was doing her makeup, and she was talking in like a British accent, and she was talking about the bronzer she was using and the contour. It was all about the contour. And she was like, ladies, you must narrow your nose because narrowed nose gets his wallet. And we must shape shift. You must remove your chin because men love women who have no chin, and we must look like children. Remember, we must look like children, contour our faces and look like children. But we cannot let the men know that we contour, or else they will report to the church. Remember that? Dee said, I remember her. Remember? And what she was getting at was how the church was used. She was doing it in a satirical, funny way. The shape shift. Yeah. The shape shifts. They're going to tell the church we must not let men know how we contour. That shit went hella viral. Millions of views. Women loved it. She said we can't let the men know we shape shift. Thank you. We can't let the men know that we shape shift. That we shape shift. You want the power that you always have, but you will be required to shape shift. And you're going to get in trouble. They're going to report it to the church if they see you. Is clicking? You go into trance in front of the average man? He gonna leave the room. Go into trance in front of the average man, he's gonna leave the room. You see what I mean? So when you in my community and we're going into a topic where your body starts to vibrate, where you start to feel things you've never felt, you start to get closer to this power that's repressed in you, and then maybe you have a response. Maybe you're, because you all see yourselves a certain way right now, however you see yourself, and you have a behavior or something happens that's unfamiliar to you, and you start to feel wrong, bad, I'm gonna get in trouble, this is, or I demonstrate something that you're like, I don't like what, uh, uh. But you got to get beyond that to get down to the power that you're, because if you bail, that's your limit right there. As soon as you bail, You stop right there. But you wanted the power. That's what moved you to begin with. So when we're trying to, not even trying, working on projects together, this is how I see it. Y'all might not see this, but I'm looking at this from a shifting of a collective level. I mean, what the fuck else are we doing, as far as I'm concerned? Which requires two or more of the right people. Anybody here has a vision that they recognize requires a team? Anybody? And you're actively working on it? Or perhaps you embarked and you realized you had the wrong people on the team. They didn't have depth, they don't have capacity, that they are of your likeness, but not of your sameness. They are of your likeness, but not of your sameness. What's the vision? To go on tour, to create a product that you go to reach the masses, to become famous so you can deliver the message that was placed in you at 7 years old? Who's actively working on their vision that they're clear requires two or more of the right people? It requires you to be public facing or to have a team that is public facing, and that you need to be able to stand as people pummel, disagree, call you wrong, call you. Y'all see a dude on my post talking about I'm relating me to Aleister Crowley, which whatever he is who he is, calling me demonic, whatever, all the things they were calling. How many of you are actively going in the direction of the thing that you know you're going to be attacked for? How many of you? Truly, get out of your ego and drop down into your belly right now. How many of you are truly? It requires two or more of the right people. You know what's highly required for you to actually exist in the two or more relationship, to actually do your big, big work in the world? Character development, refinement of your emotions, meaning when you, meaning the two of you, start hitting those deeper things. Or we talk about you start hitting those deeper things and you like shame, like unknown, all kind of shit in you that's unknown. You got to be so loving of self and not like old girl was like, that's dumb. You would be the main motherfucker who would poison shit if you didn't have that checked immediately. This is how people poison. They highly judge themselves. You get two or more people together like that to work on a big project, they will abandon ship and your vision will never get out into the world. But if we both come into this as two or more, knowing that in our unconscious mind is some ugly shit in there, and we're going to use this relationship as a crucible to work through all of that because we need and require the power to do our big project in the world. We are moved by a larger thing, not our need to be right and to look like something and to, because we want success. No, we are committed to the vision that's been placed in us as of sameness, not of likeness, sameness. So when we really get on this, we not on some, you gonna build a company. How you really? You gonna build your movement, your company sustainably? How do you expect that to happen? Tell me, how do you expect that to happen? Who's in your ear? Who's in your community? Who are you having reflective conversations with regularly, every day, every other day, every week? When you mean it, you set these things up for yourself. Right. Thank you. Didi said facts. All the development is theoretical until I love that. It's theoretical until you do that. And this is what we have to remember when we're working with men. I love how this is just organically graduating itself. Men are necessary. Men are necessary. I know the 4B movement is viral and it has legs now. So many women are talking about decentering men and just like all the conversations that I know y'all see going around the internet. And I'm here to tell you men are required. First of all, they have physical strength we ain't got. First of all, okay? And they have a particular warrior spirit that will help us bring our vision about beautifully. I was just at a coffee shop before I came live here. It's a relatively new coffee shop and it's so pretty. It's pink, it's has all the crystals and the chandeliers and the couches and it's so cute. And they sell the French macarons and a cute coffee shop. And she was talking about how they're going to be adding a wine bar soon. And I said, is this a man who's running this? And she's like, no, it's a husband wife team. And she said, and this is why I'm bringing this up, and I loved it. She said, the woman has the vision, the wife has the vision, and the husband executes it all. Ha! I'm telling you, I'm like, who is the man who's going to hold this vision and take the action? Bring the action. See what I mean? So the reason why I bring this up is because Dee Dee mentioned it's all theoretical until we engage in the relationships that are a crucible. We literally allow ourselves to be transmogrified, transformed, and we go through, and it's so embarrassing. It's so ego defying, which is why I say true power is ego defying. Like who you think you are now, so much of that gets slapped. But most of us don't have relationships that allow us to get to know that and to get to the other side. Y'all got husbands who don't want to really see who you are because he don't even really want to see himself. He needs you to be in like this feminine role so he can feel like he's a man. And it's just like, it's like torture at an unconscious level. And we just make it work because these are the roles that we're supposed to, this is how it works. And it's just so, we all know what that looks and feels like and how unsustainable. Well, evidence is proving that. And so I bring that up because when we are starting to engage with men, because the men are necessary, we love them. Come on. Yes. A unified man, a man who's unified in himself. Oh my God. Which he never really can even do unless he does it with a woman who has the capacity to do it. They don't even realize how much they need. They, ah, and many do. Okay, many do. And when men look at this, when men consider this, they are highly theoretical. Highly theoretical. It's very much like conceptual to them. It's conceptual. It's like, oh, this makes sense conceptually. They don't know it physiologically. They don't know it on the ground. They don't know it experientially, like actually in the relationship where the humiliation is on the menu or ego defying, right? They just understand it like a teacher. Like you go to a business class and the teacher is teaching you business and he's never on a business, but he's telling you all about business because he understands it conceptually. He understands it theoretically. I'm saying this because we need to appreciate that about males because they're dissecting all the time to help them make sense of things and to move. And when this man is executing on your vision, you want him to be a thinker, even if it is theoretical. And then in his relationship with you, you bring the fullness of the feminine to it, which brings it onto the ground. So then there can be an actual planting of a seed and execution here on the ground. Making sense? Mr. Harris said, I'm learning for real. I'm glad. I'm glad. So ultimately, this is what the woman community is about. It's about us going deeper and deeper and deeper and being totally open to the variety of ways that any of us shows up. We all are our own beings having our own experience in this community, and the community is the crucible. The community is the container, it's the structure, it's the environment for you to explore your matrix power, your frozen power, whatever you would label the fullness of your power. So many of us just don't have this. We're just going in circles, figuring it out. See? So to come into the woman community, we need to connect. We connect inside of the Womanhood Initiation. You go to the link in my bio, click it, click Womanhood Initiation, and you register there. The woman community itself is $99 a month. Okay. The initiations are free. The community itself is $99 a month. If you know you're not ready to invest $99 a month, you know you're not ready for community, do not sign up for the Womanhood Initiations. Okay. Thank you for sharing the live, Mr. Harris. So remember all this when you feel wrong for bringing you more of your fullness, more of your authenticity, more of your depth, more of your dark feminine, more of you to the front. It's been designed for you to feel that way. Just remember that. As soon as you feel like I'm gonna get in trouble, this is wrong, it's been designed that way. For the reasons that I've named here today and more. Okay. Any questions before I go? Vasha said I need a team. You sure do. And you, as the leader or whatever you call yourself with the team, you need to vocalize and make it a regular thing, an aware thing that your team knows that this is character development is required here, emotional refinement is required here, and us getting really comfortable with our unconscious behavior coming to the light, giving love and approval, laughter, that's a big one when your unconscious mind starts to do shit and you laugh. All of that is welcome and approved of here. So then our power grows and it grows and it grows. And wherever splitting is required, because that means, listen, Freud and Jung split. So many people split because not everybody wants the big game, the full game, the real game. Not everybody wants that. So you may be married now and your spouse don't want that. What you gonna do there, right? You may already have a team and you realize, oh my God, I gotta get rid of my team. Or you may need to re-educate them, reintroduce them to this is about character development. This relationship is a crucible, and everything that's in the unconscious is welcome and allowed. And we will approve of it. We will kiss it. We will discuss it. We will sleep on it. We will consider it. We will hug around it. We will get mad at each other. We will think about it again. We will breathe. We will have a dinner around it and let it all be so we can get the power alchemically out of it. Does this make sense? We might need to fuck. We might need to make love. We might, all of it. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Is this making sense? This this takes me back to like it's time to catch up. When we start doing this work, this is gonna supercharge us ahead. The last shall be first. The last gonna be first by supercharging and doing this alchemical work because it speeds shit up exponentially when you're sincere about this and you get into community with the right people. And the first shall be last. Come on. Come on now. Come on. Come on now. All right, so no questions? Otherwise, I'm on my way out of here. Okay, I can feel. Okay, I want y'all to, wherever you're sitting, open your legs. Let your belly hang all the way out. Fat. Let your belly out. Now, I ask you again, are there any questions here today? How y'all feel? Tell me how y'all feel. Feel, not think. Feel. How y'all feel? Hungry. Enlightened. I told y'all need profile photos. YouTube, how y'all feeling? I got my dress from Italy. Vasha said, I feel seen and surprisingly aroused. What's surprising about it? When I tell y'all I am absolutely in love with this dress, absolutely in love with this dress, honey. I feel good. Is some of this in response to my, what do you mean some of it? All of it. Girl, what you mean? If it didn't feel like it landed, I don't know. I use very specific words you use, girl. You talking about is some of this in response to what I said? Ah, that's another thing. Vasha said I just wasn't expecting it. I so want a physical space for us. And it feels like it's coming. It's just like they're coming for us to, because here's the thing. The reason why I constantly talk about women need embodiment at a physiological level is because we'll be like how y'all are saying, like it feels good. I feel, but it's not here. I'm telling you, when it gets up in here, you move. That's where the speed happens. Because so for Vasha, who was like, I just wasn't expecting it. I just wasn't expecting it. My response: get used to a lot of things happening that you don't expect. The more you start putting yourself in the realm of true power. True power. Things move very fast. I've said this so often. When you're in an environment where speed is not allowed, and this is not conscious, speed is not allowed, meaning you're in relationships that it's a slowness, like you're required, like the agreement that has been in this relationship is that this is who you are, this is how we live, this is who we are, and it has its own equilibrium, right? So a certain speed, a certain pace, a certain feeling, a certain flow, a certain, okay, it has its own rhythm based on the decisions you've made up to that point to be there. And the more you start dealing in the realm of true power, things start moving fast. So people can fall off quick. So much can change like that. That's unexpected. But when you are gripping to keep whatever, you may be trying to keep it that way because that's familiar. Oh my God, this unknown place. Who am I going to be? Can I handle it? What is going to happen? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Have you felt this, experienced this? And this is where you hit the brakes. You'll go try to keep those relationships, keep that job, keep you get mad. They fired me. I get, oh my God. Yeah, you're dealing closer. And you are not yet trusting the power that you're dealing in and the speed of it. This is why the community matters. Because when you're the only one doing this, oh God, your mind, you're going to make up all kinds of logic that the average person will be like, exactly, girl. Yeah, because you need having no awareness and no trusting and no leaning into the thing, the power. So just know a lot of I wasn't expecting it. There will be a lot. Okay. What life are you going to live? Like, what life are you called to live? Like, this is a real deep personal question you need to ask yourself. And I'm telling you, one of the most empowered things you can do is really admit. I like this feeling of power. I like playing. Like this whole, remember I talked about likeness versus sameness? Like I like how you like being here. Like you like being here with me. It's exhilarating, right? It gives you energy, but you're not really about this, what I'm talking about. Admitting that, right? It's clean. It's empowering to admit. Like people would be like, yeah, I admit I'm a big back behavior and I'm fat and what? Right? It's a kind of empowering to just tell the truth of whatever is true. Gosh, I really love struggle. I love it. Such an adrenaline rush to deal in struggle. Oh God, I love hiding. I just feel so much comfortable. I love it. And I'm saying this because I just feel like I need to say it. Anybody who's dealing in real power can see it anyway. Like you're not tricking anybody. You're not tricking anybody. I mean, you can trick blind people, but you're not tricking people who are dealing in real power. We can feel it. You don't have to say it. We can feel it. So expect lots of the unexpected when you start dealing in real power. All right. Y'all take good care of yourselves.